welcome back to my channel. This is Andrea. I'm jumping on quickly to share a small springtime mini haul of a few items that I found for paper crafting and a couple of spring embellishment project shares that I'd like to show you. So let me show you what I picked up. I stopped in at Joann's, actually just yesterday, and their designer paper crafting selection is now 50% off in my Joann's. And I just picked up a couple of things. I got this card set. It's a card making kit. The regular price was, I think, $9, so 50% off of that. This one is the sketchbook collection by Bea Valent. And these I've always found to be a really good value when you can get them for 50% off. So what's inside of this one, I'll just show you. And everything is very high quality. The cardstock is very nice. The ephemera is really nice and heavy. So it comes with a selection of cards. Okay, there's 20 cards in all. Here's the first set, the second set. Okay, and then the third. And these are kind of reminiscent of the sketchbook collection. Okay, here's the back side. I should show you the back. Here's the back of the other two. This one is has the hearts, and there's the reverse. Okay, and then this has the green on green tone floral sprig. Okay, and then the rainbow pastel. And the other side is a white floral on a pale pink background. That's really pretty. These have kind of a matte cardstock finish. They're heavier than regular cardstock. They feel like they may be like 110 pound. All right, and then there's this floral with the bows, and then again the swans and the yellow gingham. Okay, there's some washi, sheet of washi tape. Here's the other one, the first one, and then the second set of stickers. More stickers, and these are just the regular paperweight stickers. Okay, a few more. I think there are 75 stickers in all. And here's some more little white frames. And then envelopes to match. Here's what they look like. Just a regular envelope. Okay, and then a sheet of sticky dot squares. There we go there. And of course, a package of ephemera. And these are a nice sturdy weight. Let me show you. Whoops. So here are the sizes. Okay, there's different types. Labels, tags, whole host of tags, index tabs, banners, tiny tags, larger tags, a little piece of note paper. Quite a few here. Hello, love, perfect day. A couple sets of tickets. One set is purple and the other is a gold on white. Yeah, so quite a few nice little, nice quality ephemera pieces. And all of this for $4.50. I think it's really quite a good value for all of the items that you get. Okay, so that is the sketchbook card making kit. And then I picked up a sheet of the sketchbook. This was the only one they had left, the sketchbook stickers by Bea Valent. So I did pick those up, again, half price. Okay, and then anything else from Joann's? Yes, this paper. They had quite a few different types of paper. I picked up some sheets of this Jen Hadfield. It's called Groovy Darlin'. And I only picked out the sheets that to me really screamed out retro 1960s. So that's what I have. I picked up 3 or 4 sheets of each one that I really loved, this one being one. Okay, the name of this one, I think it's Wallpaper. It says right here. Okay, and then the reverse has the gold grid. Okay, the next one is called Flutter. A couple of those. Flutter. Whoops, there we go. It has an orange and kind of a brown floral on a pale pink background, and there's the reverse. The really brilliantly colored mustard color with a tan butterfly printed in there. And the next one is called Hippie. Okay, I picked up 3 of those. This is called Hippie, right here. And there's the print. It has sort of an olive green and then orange and pink on a white background, or kind of a creamy tan background. And the reverse is an orange with a tone-on-tone dot. So my intent is to use these in some vintage album journal making. I have lots of vintage patterns, and so I thought I'd incorporate some of my vintage ephemera and patterns and things like that with these papers. I think they'll be really cute. This one is called Groovy Green. It has a dark green background with mustard, orange, pink, light blue, and a creamy white. And the reverse is kind of a ochre color with a tiny daisy. Yeah, these are really cute. Okay, so that's from Joann's. And then I picked up just a couple of things in Hobby Lobby. I went in for these jewelry clasps, these lobster clasps. I like to use these to attach dangles when I'm putting charms and things on the spines of my albums and notebooks. So I picked those up, 1 gold, 1 silver. And these were all, the jewelry findings were 50% off, and the paper crafting items here that I'm going to show you were 40% off. So I picked up some lavender, kind of holographic half backs, and these I'll be using for flower centers. And here they are again in the blue and turquoise. And then I picked up a package of these Paper Studio assorted pastel flowers. I go through a lot of these, so I did want to get some more of them. Okay, and then the only other thing I picked up, I stopped in Michael's and I had a $5 voucher and a 20% off coupon. So I picked up, I've had my eye on this bow die set. I don't know if you've seen it, but Michael seems to be expanding their paper crafting a little bit. They've been putting in more die sets and stamps and different paper crafting supplies. But I love this bow set. And you can see here the bows that are included. See if I can get this up nice and close. Okay, so there's an assortment of sizes. And this bow was my favorite right here, the big one. And it's a double layer bow. So let me show you what I made with it. Here's the first of my spring embellishments. And you can see the bow here, the bow die set being used. So it's a double layer, and I just love the stripe in that. And it kind of has a shabby look, vintage look. So I just put some circles together, added some netting and some buttons and a sentiment there. A little bit of there's a fabric square with pinking shears. I used that to cut the edges, and a little bit of crepe paper on the end for this medallion. Okay, and then I did up some butterflies. Let me show you. Well, let's see here. Let's start with the butterflies. Here's the first one. And I used Maggie Holmes' Woodland Grove collection. You can see that here. I just layered up the butterfly dies and created that one there. I've used, oh, by the way, I also used some vellum here on the wings. And that one is the first one. And let's see, here's another one here. So I've just kind of decorated. This paper is embossed. It's a pearlescent paper pad that I got at Michael's years ago. Added some little paper flowers and some Nouveau drops around the edges of the wings and for the body in the center. And then I put this tiny butterfly wing set on the top is a pink vellum. And then underneath the second set is some white vellum that I embossed with an embossing folder. I love this one. I think that's so pretty. Came out really nicely. Okay, and then some more embellishments. Here's the first one, again with the Woodland Grove collection by Maggie Holmes. And there's a butterfly with some stickles that I squirted onto the wings to decorate it. A little bit of glittered lace and a little sentiment as well. Okay, and let's see. I did up a couple of envelopes, little miniature-sized envelope embellishments with some paper flowers, a ticket with a little sentiment on it that says Lifetime, and some aqua-colored stickles to decorate a little bit on that one. And then this one here. Every day there's a ticket inside the envelope, a couple of little note sheets from the papery pack, and then I added some silky ribbon and another sticker from the papery pack and some buttons as well. Whoops, get that in frame, sorry. Yeah, so these were fun to work on. I just took a couple of hours yesterday and putted around in my studio, and I'm trying to get back into my paper crafting a little bit more because I've been so busy working on miniature quilts lately, and I've been trying to finish up some knitting projects. So I've been away from this a little, but now I'm starting to get back into this a bit more. What I like to do is I do all my die cutting. If I want to sit down and have a session where I'm making embellishments, for example, I'll pull out the papers that I want to use, and I'll sit and I'll die cut all my pieces first in different colors, some solid, some prints, and just kind of make little piles. So I have my envelope pile back here, smaller and larger envelopes that I glued together. And then this little pile here has the stitched circles in various sizes. And I did some of them in pattern paper, also some stitched rectangles. This die set is a really nice one too. And, you know, different pattern papers and solids. And then I just mix and match and glue them together like so. So you can see we've got a couple different types here that I've put together, and then we'll eventually be embellishing these as well. And you can just kind of see some of the different types that I've glued together. Okay, so these are waiting to be finished. I'll have to add all the details to these. And then I have a little pile of tickets that I die cut and glued together. And again, these are awaiting you know, a few minutes when I have to come and decorate these or add them into embellishments. Yeah, I'm just enjoying using a little bit of green and purple this spring. It's just, I don't usually work with purple, but I'm really enjoying it this year. And then again, some additional butterflies that are awaiting further embellishment or use on other projects. Some larger, some a little bit smaller. So these are just fun to sit and kind of glue these together when I have a few spare minutes. And this one here as well. Whoops, there we go. Yeah, so these are in the tray, and I'll, you know, get to those as soon as I can. These are the finished ones. So we'll put these aside into my storage boxes, and then I can just pull these out and use them when I'm ready to put together some albums or cards or, you know, other paper crafted items. Yeah, I think that's it. Is it everything? Yes, it is. Well, thanks for joining me, and hopefully I'll see you back again soon with some more projects. Take care and have a great day. Bye for now.